What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? We are deep into what can only be described as the most catastrophic dump in the history of cryptocurrency in a short little time frame. I'm just kidding. This is a dump like any other dump. It happens every once in a while. It's clearing out longs and shorts liquidity. It's scaring people out of the futures market. And guess what? That's one of the best things for cryptocurrency, because what that does is it turns a bunch of futures traders into, you know what? I'm out of this game. I'm just going to hodl. And that's what we need people to do. So if you like this type of content and you like the fact that we realize that, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Let's talk about what's going on. We're going to summarize this as quickly as possible today because your time is very valuable. All right, guys. Number one, terrapump.fun. You know this is where it's at. Currently, I'm trading at 6 cents. I gave this to you at a penny. Now, in the event that you are a Luna Classic holder, I want to put some context to this for you. I put in 500,000 Terra Luna Classic into this project, okay? Not a lot, 30 cents, something like that, okay? 500,000 is now 3.2 million Terra Luna Classic. Now, that's not a huge amount, let's be honest. That's 2.7 million gain if I were to sell right now. Well, I'm not sure what the settlement price would be, but you get my point. Like we're in a quote unquote profit in this context, which is, $50 for every million, right? So I'm up 6x on this position right now. That's a pretty significant move, right? Well, if you had just bought early on, then guess what? You would be up 6x too. If you'd put in 1 million, you'd have 6 million right now. If you'd put in 10 million, you'd have, well, you wouldn't have 60 million at this spot, but you get my point. You would have made out. So look, I'm challenging you today. Let's get this unbonded and let's get this thing out into the wild. Now, only one has graduated so far. And by the way, it's very fair to say that this market has been cooked for a little while, but terrapump.fun is the platform for you to go to and take an opportunity. Now look, Blame, which is Blame Frog, is at 83 cents. Can you imagine what happens to Believe's crypto when Believe in Lunk, when it goes to 83 cents? Just go into 14 cents, double where it is right now. Any one of those little moves right there could be game changing for you as a Lunk holder. There's no guarantee of profit. There's no probability of it or anything like that. But if we just do what Frag has done over here, guess what? That is a quick 15x from where we are. So take a shot. Now, full disclosure, at some point, I'm going to take my original 500,000 out. You can see here, there's been buyers and sellers along the way, and we continue to go to an all-time high. Yesterday, we were at an all-time high again, or actually a few minutes ago, we were at an all-time high. So, and when Luna Classic explodes, and it will explode, remember, if Luna Classic does half of what I said, okay, half of what I said, which is to go up 20x, then we would go up 10x just based on that pairing with no buys, and any amount of buying in the swap during the meantime would create even more opportunity for you. So, I mean, what do you have to lose? I don't think you have anything to lose at this point. So, take your shot, playa. I don't know where that comes from, but guys, get yourself some Believe in Lunk, or I talked a lot about it, but really, get yourself some Neil, get yourself some Peas, get yourself some LLO. Don't get Peas. Don't get Peas. Lunk Lover 69. You know. Anyway, get yourself some Peas, get yourself some LLO, T Rocco, SCL, GCC. Get whatever you want, man. Let's unbond some of these things. Let's get them out here into the wild, and let's make Terra Pump as example. And by the way, just because this is the worst part of the market right now, that we've really experienced a catastrophic sort of collapse in money value in the United States. Like things are, we're looking at these stock markets and they're going out of their minds down, right? And they've been, hundreds of billions every single day. But guess what? Oil prices are down. Everything is coming down. Inflation way down. It is time for rate cuts. And you know what rate cuts means? That means that all of the money that's been leaving the market will immediately like it's in a Looney Tune cartoon, come right back into the market. So now you're in a prime position right now. You just got to trust this process. Anyway, I believe in luck or any. All right, so for the broad market here, I put half of my bag in of Lunk in this wallet over into USTC because we're going to hold on to that. And right now it is leading Terra Luna Classic, which they were tied. So it has held up a lot better in this market. So has Garuda X, and Hera still holding up pretty well. Food, Juris, Terra all the way down. Everything's just kind of drained a little bit. Now that does mean that there could be there will be a big spike and a reversal and a renewed interest, in my opinion. Again, things like TerraPump.fun bring new eyes over here, or the opportunity for new eyes. It's going to depend on our marketing and how we do with that. But there's some real opportunity over here to make something happen. And again, Luna Classic, I think, about to primed for a big move. Do you want to know why? Because I told you so. Now, days and days and days ago, we've been talking about this, and I've been telling you that it is my opinion that there would be a final shakeout. Now, here's the thing. We're down at the bottom of this range, which I told you that the most likely scenario for this playout would be that it would move down to this range and that we would immediately get a reversal. Well, when you start to zoom in and get a little granular on it, then guess what? Not only did it happen, but it immediately and quickly got bought back up to the tune of about 10%. Now, here is where I think that gets interesting. You consider this all the way up here, that's 8%. It's 7.5%. So it's bounced up 7.5% from its dump, which happened to dump along this long-standing trend line. So I am fairly certain that we are very, very right about what's going to happen next. Again, this comes down to the markets. The markets are in a great place, in my opinion, for accumulation. This catastrophic sort of Trump dump, if you will. This catastrophic sort of dump is because people are shaken by the tariffs and stuff like that. And by the way, one thing to consider here is they're not shaken to the point that they're selling out on the markets. They're exiting so that they can buy the dip. And I hope that makes sense to you, because that's really what's happening right now. Is these players, these people, they're going to continue doing what they've always done. They're going to continue buying into the market. So let's go back to it and check it out. This is what I think is going to happen, right? This is what I gave you the other day. And I said, most likely scenario is we're going to dip all the way down here. And what happened? Of course, we have this catastrophic sort of dip happening at this point. And now we start to run. Now, why do we start to run? Biggest problem for the United States has been trade gaps and tariffs. Over 50 nations that have been hit with tariffs over the last 72, I want to say maybe 96 hours. 50 of them have already come to the United States to talk about removing tariffs completely or negotiating, because the United States wants open and fair trade. They want free trade. Now, in the United States, when you have tariffs, tariffs are a tool against the lack of free trade. So what we have fundamentally is this. We send goods and services over, and we get the companies that are in those countries, they get tariffed. They get that you have to pay extra. Why? Because they don't want you to buy Levi's jeans. They don't want you to buy Jack Daniel's whiskey. They don't want you to buy U.S.-made goods and services. They want you to buy their own patriotic brands in these countries. So when you go buy jeans in China, they're $50, but you can buy Chinese jeans for $20. And that's because of the tariffs. Well, we've fought this tariff war, and now these people want to remove the tariffs. And what does that mean? That means more goods and services from the United States can get sold in overseas markets when these things happen. Now, we should remember, this takes a little bit of time. The fact that 50 people or 50 countries have come to the table doesn't mean anybody of major significance has. So there is a possibility that these are just small nation states and stuff like that that really don't affect the needle. But guess what? The big ones, they will come to the table. Most of these people are our partners. Canada already come to the table. Mexico already come to the table. European Union already came to the table. I mean, there are still some positives that we can take and glean from this about this tariff war. So I don't think it lasts for very long. And then once it's done, everybody is going to throw their money back in because they're buying these dips slowly but surely. That candle that I showed you at the bottom of this chart shows that after this dip, a lot of people started buying. New buyers stepped in. Now, those new buyers, they recognize the dip and they want to be part of that next rip. So I do think that we're about to see a real transition. By the way, it should be noted here, everybody is thinking about Black Monday. Everybody is thinking that the Dow Jones, that everything is going to absolutely dump and bottom out. But let me tell you, the futures market started last night down 1,600 points. The stock market started today down 1,100 points. So about 500 points of that momentum came back into the markets as they started to look around and survey what they see, and they're pretty excited about the buying opportunity. So let's get back to it. So volume is up pretty big, but again, price is down because people are dumping. Volume is up pretty big, but price is down because we're dumping. None of this stuff is going to last, okay? Burn tracker shows 1 billion, and we're having a pretty nice burn today. Now, again, not fantastic, but it's better than those dead weekend days. We had 55 million yesterday, 50 million so far today. Hopefully, we'll see some bigger numbers. We had 126,000 USTC burn yesterday. So there are some big burns that are happening as well. So fundamentally, let's just get back to this and say, we're down about $50 billion on the day. Yesterday, we had another catastrophic $200 billion loss day. Saturday was good. Friday was a dump. Thursday was a dump. This has been just an absolutely diabolical sort of dump over the last few days. And you can see it right there from that candle. But let's put some perspective on that. We look at it, we say this is catastrophic, this is huge. Guess what? It's been worse just recently. Let it sink in. It's been worse just recently. It's been worse sometimes just over a couple of days. It's been worse. It's been way worse. Now, guys, the fact that it's going down when you want it to go up, when you think that it's the bull run, when you think that it's, we're about to have altcoin season, that's the part that you're frustrated about. And I understand that because I am too. I want to see some progress. I want to see some success. I want to see it for you. I want to see it for me. I want to see it for everybody. But I do think legitimately that we are about to experience a nice big move. So that's it. That's your update for the day. Buy some Believe in Lunk, buy any one of those meme coins. Let's get some unbond. Let's get them out there in the wild and just have a little faith and have a little patience here. This market is about to absolutely soar and cook. Remember, the M2 Monetary Global Liquidity Index, the fund, everything that tells you where the capital is flowing or where the money is, everything says that this market is about to go parabolic. So just have a tiny bit of patience, a little bit more time, and then guess what? You too are going to reap the reward of it. I guarantee it. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.